Yo, what's good, ladies and gentlemen? It is your man B-Von here with We Create Music TV. And today, oh man, do I got something to share with all of you. Now, you know this channel to be a channel that is dedicated to music creatives, helping music creatives to grow, to develop, and to really maximize the opportunities that are presentable for you as a music creative within this music industry. But today, I gotta talk about something completely different, and that is talking about this new Mac Studio. Let's get into it. Man, oh man, oh man. So Apple had their March event, spring event on yesterday, right? I'm a day late, but that's all good. I had a chance to sit and read and marinate on what Apple just released. And oh man, for me, it's a game. Everybody says everything is a game changer, right? But for me, it's a game changer because I am still running a very old 2010 Mac Pro 5,1. But it works like a beast. I just can't do anything past Mojave. I can't update to any new programs. So I'm stuck with whatever is on there. But Apple, won't they do it? Won't they do it? But Apple just announced yesterday on March 8th, they just announced a new Mac Studio. It is like a beefy Mac Mini, right? It's like a thick Mac Mini. So I'm gonna walk you through some of the specs that come with the Mac Studio and kind of talk about what I like, what I don't like about this new Mac Studio. And then is it something that you really, for you, do you want to put in your own creative space, whether you do music, whether you do videography / cinematography / photography, whichever it is that you do, whichever creative field you're in, will this new Mac Studio help you? Oh my gosh. When I saw it, I was like, oh, this is it. This is it. And I debated for the longest time because I need a new Mac, right? And I'm like, I want a new Mac. I don't really like obsolete things. I don't like things that I can't upgrade to whatever the latest version is. That's just how I am. But when I saw this, and granted, I don't really like spoilers when it comes to movies. And so I found myself on YouTube watching leak videos. Oh, I should have never watched those leak videos because those leak people, wherever you get your leaks from, they be right on the money. Like they talked about the new iPhone SE. I don't really care about that. I have this, the Pro Max. I don't care about an iPhone SE. Oh, now you can get the, this thing here in green. Two different, I don't care. I don't care about the green color. They also talked about a new display that's like $1,600. I don't care about that. I'm not buying a $1,600 display. You can keep your display, right? I got a ton of displays in this house. I'm not a Mac aficionado. You figure out which one it is. I'm not that type of Mac person. I like the computer. I love the Mac architecture when it comes to the computer side. I care less about anything else. I don't have a Magic keyboard. I don't have a Magic trackpad, a Magic mouse, an Apple monitor, none of that. I don't care about any of those. Give me the computer. And that's exactly what they did. Thank you, Apple, for this one. Because I debated if I wanted to buy, and I wasn't going to do that, because I'm not spending at a base price, 50-something $100 on a base computer. That's not gonna happen. And I was like, man, I need a new computer. I still want a new computer, but I'm not spending no $5,600 on no baseline computer that I still gotta add things to, and it comes out to be 10 grand. No, thank you, Apple. No, thank you for that. But definitely thank you for making this Mac Studio. And no, I didn't want an iMac. I debated on if I wanted to get an iMac, and I was like that close to pressing the button on order. And I was like, nah, I'm not gonna get an iMac. Now, granted, I got a Mac Mini, an M1 Mac Mini in my filming space, but that's cool. I got that for that, right? I do all my interviews, I do all my videos. I'm recording my video right now on this M1 Mac Mini. Fabulous, works fantastic. But I needed something for my main creative space, and the Mac Studio delivers. So let's look at this whole Mac Studio. Once again, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and then is it something that you as a music creator want to get for yourself. So here we are on the Mac website, right? The Apple website. And so you can notice here that this thing is it's like a Beefy Mac Mini. When they did their event yesterday, they talked about this new chip. Really what they did, they just put two chips together and made one. They made an Ultra chip, right? So they took the M1 Max and put them both together to make M1 And so, you know, if you are a Mac user, you know they got the M1 Mac, which is just the plain M1 chip. They got the M1 Pro, they got the M1 Max, and now they have the M1. This Mac Studio comes in two different flavors, the M1 Max and the M1 Ultra. But this thing is beautiful. Let's look at this. Yes, one thing that I don't like about the Mac Mini is not enough ports. I got a ton of stuff in here to connect, but this gives me additional ports. I had to, for my Mac Mini, purchase a Satechi USB hub that came with some extra ports that allow me to connect some extra things to it that I needed. But this one, so we got enough I/O on here now. We got 4 Thunderbolt, we have a 10 gigabit Ethernet port. That's not a MagSafe plug, I don't think. You know, I think they have those on the iMacs, the new iMac. I don't think that's what this is. I'll be surprised to see if it is. We'll see. 2 USB-A's, 1 HDMI, 1 headphone jack, of course the power button, and then when you go back to the front, there's 2 USB-C, depending on which version you get. If you get the version that comes with the M1 Max, it's 2 USB-C, but if you get the M1 Ultra, then it's 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports. And then you have an SD card reader in the front. What else does this thing come with, right? Ready to dive in? Yeah, so you get to choose, as I stated, you can choose the M1 Max, or you can choose the M1 whichever suits your flavor. The M1 Max comes with 10-core CPU, up to 32-core GPU. Now, I went and researched. I wanted to know, because Apple, that's one thing Apple doesn't tell you, exactly what the gigahertz is on the chip itself, on the M1 Max chip. But as I was looking around the internet, it says it's around like 3.23 gigahertz or more, something like that. The GPU is a 32-core GPU, and it is right in line with the NVIDIA 3080. I need a top-of-the-line graphics card. One thing I did find out about this card, and Apple talked about it in their event, is that with the M1 Max, you can have 9 streams of 8K video, which is, and it plays like crazy smooth. With the M1 Ultra, you can have 18 streams of 8K video. That's bananas right there. You can have up to 64 gigs of unified memory on the M1. You can have 128 on the M1 Ultra. Crazy. Then it talks about an entirely, new Mac desktop. It packs outrageous performance, extensive connectivity, and new capabilities into an unbelievable compact form, putting everything you need within easy reach and transforming any space into a studio. Okay, let me say this. You can have any computer in your studio. It doesn't have to be a Mac studio. I know that they are positioning it to be a computer for the studio, but you can have any computer in your studio. This is not really going to make a difference in how you produce. It's not going to make a difference in the type of music you create, or the type of videos you produce, or the type of photos you edit. Any computer can do that. Where it is going to help you is in the speed and the performance and things like that. It doesn't transform any space into a studio. It can be a studio already with any computer that you have. You can go read all this. It talks about the specs, how it's faster than blah, blah, blah. They did a comparison with the M1 Max and the M1 Ultra and compared it against their 27-inch iMac. Now keep in mind, the 27-inch iMac is still Intel, right? That's still an Intel-based processor. Here's the thing too, because I told you I was gonna purchase that $5,600 base computer. Well, that $5,600 base computer is still an Intel. It is not an M1 Max or M1 Ultra. It is still an Intel. So somewhere down the line, Apple is going to transition those powerful desktops to M1 Max, M1 Ultra. Watch. They are going to do it because they're going to completely get away from the whole Intel brand. Keep in mind, I'm not a techie person when it comes to all this stuff. I like what I like, and that's just it. I wanted to talk about this thing because I needed a new computer. I'm super excited. Like I said, 9 streams of 8K and all that stuff you can see here, right? You can get up to 8 terabytes, blah, blah, blah. They give you a whole bunch of different stuff. Talk about the M1 Ultra, the performance of it, 18 streams of 8K video, talks about all these different performance metrics when it comes to utilizing certain programs and all those different things. I just want the latest version of Logic Pro X, which is what I use to make music. I want the latest version of DaVinci, which is what I use to do all my video editing and coloring. I can't get the latest versions on my 2010. But once again, I don't like obsolete things. I like to be able to upgrade to the latest version, right? You can take a look at the insides, all this stuff. This is available on the 18th. I did order one. I pressed that button. I was like, oh yes, let me just go on and get it right now. So here, once again, when you go to order, here are your two choices that you can choose from. Now, one thing that I have, and a lot of you will probably have the same thing, so use your military discount, right? There's a way to log in to your ID.me and get your login for all of this. So you can get, if you don't know how to do it, leave a comment and maybe I'll show you how to do it. You can get your military discount on this. It takes the price from $19.99, $17.99, right? So you get some money off. That's what I did. I was like, yeah, no, they better give me some type of discount. But you can tell, look here, 10 core CPU, 24 core GPU, 16 core neural engine. Different specs, double the specs on the M1 Ultra. Really, the M1 Ultra is just a double of the M1 Mac. Here, I'm gonna show you exactly what I chose. I went to all the different specs. Look, it's 180 bucks more. I didn't want to get the 24 core GPU. I got the 32. It's only $180 more. I was like, yeah, why not? I'll give you an extra $180 for that. Well, I'm not going up to 48 core or to 64 core because I don't need it. I'm not processing videos in that capacity. I don't need that machine to be like that to do that. So I just got the 32 core GPU. 32 gigs is great, but I was like, you know what? Give me 64. I want 64. My machine now has 128. So at least give me half of that. So give me the 64. Now, what I don't like, what Apple does, Apple, you know you do this on purpose. I don't know why, but stop. Which is, you give us, you don't give us the storage space that we truly need. Like, who are you talking to? But like, somebody's like, oh yeah, only limited to 512. Why? We're in 2022. We should at least start off with 1 terabyte. 512, please. The Mac Mini you can get in 256, but who uses 256? Nobody. Like, you're gonna eat up that space real quick. So I opted, of course, for the 1 terabyte. I could not justify spending an extra, whatever it is, to get a 2 terabyte. I'm not doing it. Probably an extra 180. I'm still not doing it. So I got a 1 terabyte. And I don't use Final Cut Pro, so I don't want that. And I already own Logic Pro X. That's how much it costs, plus tax. Add in your tax, for me, it was $27.14 with my military discount. Yeah, so I was happy with that. I can't wait till it gets here. It says for me, it's gonna get here between, now look at this. You can order this now, and it says it will be delivered, if I go back. It says between March 31st and April 7th. My thing says April 6th, April 13th. I'm like, come on, Apple, I need this thing. Like, as soon as y'all do it, let's go. So there it is. That's the new Mac Studio. Do I think it's something that you can use as a creative? Of course. But is it something that you really need? Probably, maybe, I don't know. You take inventory of what you have and what you do and how much you need. Maybe it's something that fits you. For me, it was perfect. The price point was perfect. I wasn't paying $5,600 for whatever computer they were offering, and which is so crazy. If you go look at that computer, this Mac Pro, notice the base is an 8-core, 3.5 gigahertz. 8, I'm already getting 10 with, the Studio. I can up it to 12 core for 900 bucks. No, thank you, not doing that. It comes with 32, I can get 48, right? There's no 64 gig option, right? I can get a graphics card and get 2, but I don't know how many cores are in here. Somebody probably knows how many cores live in here. I just know I'm not doing that. And then of course, 1 terabyte, same price with a 2 terabyte, etc. And now I'm already, if I was to really deck this thing out, this thing would go crazy in price. Some of you know that, which is super ridiculous. But that's what Apple does. They create these amazing systems and they cost an arm and a leg and some other body parts. And like I said, I'm not an aficionado, so I don't buy everything Apple. I just buy the computer, because that's all I really need. Like I said, is it something that I think music creative can use? Definitely. You just need to figure out how much you need as far as your processing, your performance, your RAM, all those different things. And then decide for yourself which one works for you. It may be the M1 Mac Mini. It is a powerful little machine. You may not be processing things that other people are processing. If you want to get into the Mac world and looking for something new, the Mac Mini, I'm touching it right here, so I'm doing this. The Mac Mini is a perfect device. But for me, I needed something more beefier, right? More robust, more thick, which is this thick, hunk of beauty Mac Studio that they just came out with. Yeah, so Apple, thank you for making that, because we needed something that was in between this Mac Mini and the iMac and that super expensive computer you came out with. This is perfect. This is still give pro users what pro users need, but at a great price that we can truly afford, or at least I can afford. I don't know what y'all can afford, but this I can afford. So I'm looking forward to receiving it when I get it. Maybe I'll do an unboxing video, a plugging it up video, or whatever video on this Mac Studio, but I know I'm going to love it when it gets here. But thank you very much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. And I will catch you in another video. Yeah, peace. Won't Apple do it? Won't they do it? Yes.